Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. Yes, it's Scarlett Johansson on the screen, Elizabeth Olsen's fellow cast member on the MCU, or as Nerdorotic said, post-Endgame, it's the MCU. She's 4 inches shorter than me, and naturally she's married. Would I go with her if she was single? Nope. She's been married 3 times, which means she's either partial to wedding cake or she's not very good at being a wife. She's also got 2 children, one from each husband, and she's got tattoos there and a big one on her back, which means she's got an impulsive personality. And that cringy video she did with the rest of the MCU cast in the American election hasn't done her any favours, and her body count no doubt is more than 3. So would I go with her, attractive as though she is? Nope, I wouldn't. I've got standards, and she has too much baggage, and she's got too many red flags. So enough about Scarlett. As you know, the dating situation in America is all over the place, and it's rapidly going downhill, with masses of American men not wanting to get in with American women, and they'd rather go to foreign countries. But there's a danger there that the women in these foreign countries, once they go back to America, will also be infected with the feminist mind virus, and they'll go the same way. So guys are opting out of dating altogether. Now that's having something of an effect, and it's generated a small industry of its own. So looking around over the weekend, I found this. As you can see, it's the feminine woman, done by her. She's married to a Chinese guy, and it says in this article, go through 3 steps an American woman need to get the ring and his commitment effortlessly fast. Now if you drop down, surprise surprise, she mentions the MGTOW, men guarding their own wallet. On top of that, there's all the MGTOW crew and the red pill bros actively warning other men to never marry or never ever be in a relationship. Cue the MGTOW patrol. We're a patrol now, I see. But there is hope, and there's a way to inspire a chosen man to give you the ring and his commitment, and actually have him enjoy the process. And then step 1, you have to stop engaging in power struggles. In other words, stop being a boss babe. And drop down, add enough value that it gets to the point of reciprocity. You know what I mean. In order to get out of the power struggle, you have to learn to value your man. Now that's been spoken on numerous YouTube channels by guys a lot more articulate than me. And add value in ways you are perceived value to him. In other words, make his life easier. A man wants peace and quiet once he comes home from work. He doesn't want to be at work at home as well as at work. And then the final one is express and embody your own feminine vulnerability in ways he'll be able to understand. In other words, women have to start acting like women and not like pseudo men. Feminine and not a feminist. And then says, men don't feel vulnerable in the way that women do. Don't think of them as bigger, taller and hairier women. Think of them as a different species where a foot taller, 5 times stronger, and skin 10% thicker than women. And then more talk, commitment, etc. Vulnerability is a skill many women don't have. In other words, you look at women in movies from the 1950s, you get a classic example of how women used to behave. and then more yada 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 yada, and that's the guy that she's married to, and that's it. Now, it's alright getting a ring on her finger, but some women just not interested at all. So looking around, I found this. The Independent is a British leftish liberal newspaper. Single and happy, these women ditch dating and have no regrets. More and more women are ditching dating and prioritising solo life. In other words, they can't get a guy, or the guys that they want don't want them, and they tell this woman how they feel, deliberately abandoning the social norm and finding a partner before they check off the other big cornerstones of life. And these are 3 women, but she's a single mother. She's 33, and notice she's got a feminist nose ring, and she is now a what do you call them? It's gone. Lesbian. That's it. And if you drop down, about her, 33, one in the middle, left disappointed and drained. She lives on Rhode Island in America, hoping her dating apps experience would improve, but they didn't. So around 2 years ago, she deleted them and decided I was going to stop waiting and start my life with somebody and start pursuing the goals I had intended with a partner. She owns her own home, and she says a home with friends, a married couple who rent one of her rooms. She values her financial independence and all the usual stuff. And single women are on average more content with their relationship status than men, so why are they complaining on Twitter? Not Twitter, you daft bugger, TikTok, that you can't get a guy? And a 2024 study found the number of single women looking for love has declined. In 2019, 38% single women were looking. By 2022, dropped to 35%. And new research found by comparison, 50% of single men were looking for romantic relationships. And by 22, down from 61% in 2019. So guys are wising up to the ways of women, but women are finding that Chad and Tyrone don't want them. And then it goes on about women outpacing men in college education, all that, this, that, and the other. And it goes on. She's 28, approaching the wall, picturing Japan on her solo trip. She's a civil engineer. She lives in suburban Detroit. And this lady, she's 33, post-war. She lives in Ohio. Hoping to find a grand romantic love, was sold to women from a young age. She's now new perspective. And that's the lady who is now a lesbian. She was married to a long-term partner when she split from her ex-wife. So she was married to a woman. You're right. So if you dated again but knew it wasn't for her, she's been celibate since October 23. And she's 38. She's well past post-war, so... And this lady's 41, about to have her first child after ditching dating apps. But it's a surrogate mother, not the usual way. And this one, at the top, she's got a little girl who's now 5, and she's a single mother. Chad's offspring, no doubt. And that's that article. Now, all these women are all after Mr. 666, so I found this. This has been used on that discussion topic forum video channel on YouTube, where a bunch of women on one side of the table and a few guys, a Muslim guy, the guy with the beard, and a more mature guy who's a professional debater. So I thought I'd have a little play around with it. As you can see, female delusion calculator. Now, if you're a woman, the chances of finding a guy, so a guy's prime years are 30 to 40, so there, that's the age group. Exclude marriage because he wants a single one. Race, any colour or shade. I'm white myself, so white. Minimum height. Now they want a guy that's 6 foot, so 6 foot. Doesn't want a fat 6-footer. Minimum income. Now let's be really generous with him. What's the top? That's $500,000 a year. Let's say he's on, there we go, £350,000 a year. Dollars, sorry. Now let's see how many guys in America are equal to that. Probability 0.024% of American men met her standards. He doesn't belong on the planet. Okay. New search. Same age. Exclude marriage. Any shade of colour. White, black or Asian Americans. Doesn't matter. She's not interested. She doesn't want a fat one, but she wants a, so she drops down. Lower her standards. The guy has to have $300,000 per year income. Let's find out. There's one guy in the whole of America that meets those standards. 0.057% delusional score. Still don't belong on the planet. Now that's what all these women are after. I found another one. Status standards calculator. Gender. Men. Exclude obese. Yes. Exclude marriage. Yes. Age. Once again. 30 to 40. The man's in his prime, his career's going, he's got his shit together. He's a prime man for all these women are after. Height, Mr. Back down. Whoops. Come on, Christopher. Stop messing around. 6'2", 6 o'clock, that's enough. Now, income. $500,000, and she lowers the standards. He has to be $250,000, because I've seen one woman on the YouTube video say that's the minimum amount. Ethnicity, again, is white. Let's see how many men there is in America. None. 0.57%. Alright, let's go back. He doesn't have to have $500,000. Let's see. Whoops. Change it. Come on. 300,000. $250,000 to $300,000 per year. Other. No matter what the race is. 0.01%. Afraid they've checked out there. Here's another one. What percentage of men in the United States meets your standards? Gender, men. Want kids? Yes, he wants kids. Age is... Whoops. Come on. 40 years old. From 30 to 40, the man's in his prime. Got his shit together. There we go. Height, naturally. 8 foot. No, a chance. 6'8", that's too tall. 6 foot. If you make a comparison, 5'8" to 6 foot. Let's see. 0.188%. There's one guy in America that meets all those standards. So let's go back. If you're looking for a man in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes. Let's see, that is, again, there's one guy in America, 0.0076%. Now, the guys haven't been left out either. So, I found this male reality calculator. What are the chances to find a woman of your dreams? So, 18, say, 20 to 30. Excluding a married woman, exclude single mothers. I'm also white, so click on that. Height, I'm 5'6", so I don't want her taller than me, so say, going back to Scarlett Johansson, she's 5'2", between 5'2" and my height. Exclude overweight, I'm not a chubby chaser. Minimum income, if you click on that, maximum income. Now my income with my 3 pensions is about $20,000 per year, so we'll use that as a basis. Not much, but there. Now find out. There we go. According to statistical data, the probability of a woman in America who match my standards is 3.22%, which is better than 0.076% and 0.01% and 0.057%. Now, where am I going to meet the woman? I found this to finish it off, where to meet women in 2025 from a dating coach. That's her. She's a woman dating coach for guys. For a guy to meet a woman, there's all these places: gyms, fitness classes, run clubs, coffee and smoothie shops, voluntary activities, dog parks, foreign language, yada yada yada. And then it goes into detail about which place. The coffee shops, coffee can be great places to meet women, especially in our increasingly remote work-friendly world. And then dog parks, if you have a dog, if you asset from your dating life. Yeah, but a dog won't leave you and take off your stuff. Foreign language classes, recreation sports leagues, and all the rest. But so you see, people, these are places you can meet a dating coach, a woman, if you want to get married. And this is what women do to get the ring on the finger. But some women don't want it. But women have got standards. He has to be not married, any race, Mr. 6 foot tall, not obese, and earning at least 300 grand a year. But you've only got one guy. Or the same. No guys, and just one guy. But guys are not as obsessed with status and standards. Even a 68-year-old guy like me, I've got 3.22% chances of meeting an American woman with my not married, no children, she's white. I'm not attracted to brown-skinned women. Between 5'2" and my height, not overweight, I'm not a chubby chaser, and about the same income as what I have. And this is where I can meet those women if I wanted to. I think I'm on the 10-minute now, maybe 15, so I'll leave it at that. But this dating desert is starting to affect everything, and these are little sort of cottage industries that are springing up for getting people together. But 2030 is rapidly approaching, and it's going to be interesting to see what sort of things like this there is after 2030, when 52% of American women are childless and single. Right, you know the routine, people. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. Completely up to you. So until next Monday, that's it for this one. Bye bye.